Hey, what's up everybody? Anthony Alfredo here, bringing you a new YouTube video. Today is Q&A day. It's been a while since we've done one. We've grown quite a bit, honestly, since the last one, so it's exciting. There's a lot of questions to go through. I'm just going to go through and kind of randomly pick a few from each of my social media platforms, but I'm excited to do that. As you can tell, I'm in front of a new background, looks a little different. I'm actually at Team Dillon Management in the studio here, which is super nice. I appreciate Austin Dillon and Austin Craven, Macy, the rest of the crew letting me use the space, and I'm excited to produce more videos and content for you guys here because it's really nice looking and it has a lot better lighting than my apartment and also just looks nicer in the background and stuff. So let's get right into this. All right, we're going to start off on Instagram here and see what kind of questions we got. We're going to answer them. All right, so NASCAR Stuff 2043 asks, what sponsor would you love to have at some point in your career? That's a really awesome question. That's a hard one to answer because I'd love to have just about any sponsor, obviously, to go racing, and there's a lot of companies that I'm an advocate of and want to affiliate myself with. So I definitely want to be on a sneaker deal. I'm a huge Adidas advocate for their apparel clothing line and obviously their sneakers, so that would be really cool. I'm a big energy drink guy, so something involved with that, and obviously I'm a huge gamer and technology geek, so any sort of things related to that would be really cool as well. Whether that's a computer company or making keyboards and mice, headsets, stuff like that would be pretty awesome. JManK28 asks, what's your favorite track that you have ran on so far, and is there one that you would love to race on sometime that you haven't raced on so far? That's an awesome question. So Atlanta's probably my favorite racetrack. Texas is a really cool one as well. But I'd have to say, as far as the tracks I haven't been to yet, there's a lot I'm going to that are new this year, and I would say Darlington is one of those that I'm very excited to race at. Daytona, obviously, just because of how historical that place is also. There's quite a few cool ones that'll be new to me that I'm excited to race at. Hamlin Fan 11 asks, what's the most random fact you know? Good question. I know that manhole covers are actually round, because when you open them up and the lid opens, it doesn't fall through because it's circular shaped, whereas if it was square, it could fall in. Sean.Coughlin asks, the hardest thing you've experienced in your racing career? Honestly, probably 2018 and a little bit of 2019 season were just some of the hardest times. You know, a lot of downs, more downs than ups, it felt like some of the time. A lot of challenging end results because of problems on pit road or on-track incidences and stuff like that, and all those things that are out of your control, like mechanical issues. It's just really frustrating, and when you have so much of it, it makes you question at times, you know, where you're heading. And I feel like the opportunity here with Richard Childress Racing is huge for me and kind of reassured me that all my hard work's been paying off and it's coming full circle for me. So I'm going to keep at it and have faith in the good Lord above that He's got a plan for me. 757 Kevo asks, this is Kevin White. You know, Kevin is an OG fan. What inspires you most to be a NASCAR driver? Probably just, it's my passion. It's just racing is something so unique. It gives me a feeling it gives me this special feeling that I don't get from anything else. I was always big into kind of being an adrenaline junkie and, you know, doing crazy stuff on a snowboard, doing backflips and stuff like that, and pushing the limits and jet skis or dirt bikes, literally anything I could ride or drive, snowmobiles. But there's something about racing, that being on the edge of control in a race car at super high speeds, really close to other people, and racing your heart out to try to be the first one across the finish line, that is so special to me and makes it worthwhile. And obviously my mission, and something that I've kind of grown into along the way has being able to utilize my platform to do good for others. So that's been really inspiring to me because obviously it's my passion, and I'd love to pursue a career in my passion, but I want to take advantage of that in a positive way by giving back and doing good for other people. Jeff McConey asks, who is the best iRacer/spotter/setup builder you know, and what's the name of their podcast that hosts you regularly? I don't know what you mean by that, Jeff. I'm really confused. Next person. Nah, I'm just kidding. Jeff hosts the Bottled Up podcast. Go check it out. I'm on there all the time. I might as well be a co-host now. It's a lot of fun, but he's also a great iRacer, iRacing spotter, and his modified setups are pretty good. Mersey Moberg asks, do you like Alfredo sauce? Yeah, of course I like Alfredo sauce. My last name, I gotta like it. Alex Keith asks, what would you be doing if you weren't a race car driver? That's a really good question. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm in school now. I'm an engineering student, so I'd definitely still be in school, and I'd probably be pursuing a career in civil engineering or site development, commercial building. That's kind of what runs in my family, but it's not my passion like racing is. So that or something within the esports and gaming industry. I've been trying to work on that now too, as kind of a side gig and utilizing my platform to be involved in that. NASCAR Time asks, if you could drive for any team in the Cup Series, which team would it be? What would your ideal number and sponsor be? Who would you want as a teammate? I bought your merch, so you better answer my question. I just saw this. All right, so I'm answering your question. Thanks for buying the merch. But that's a good question. I'd love to drive for Richard Childress Racing. I'm racing for their Xfinity team now, which is a huge opportunity. It's one of the most iconic teams in the sport. So to continue to grow with them and then get into one of their Cup cars would be really cool, and be teammates with maybe Austin Dillon or Tyler Reddick, or if guys like Kevin Harvick were still around, hadn't retired yet, or something like that. It'd be really cool to have people like that to lean on. Kyle Larone asks, how hard was it growing up in Connecticut where NASCAR isn't as known and being a race fan? That's an awesome question because not many people watch racing in Connecticut, and where I'm from in Ridgefield, Connecticut, probably 1 in every 15 people even not even stay up to date, are just, I just mean are familiar with the sport. It's crazy. So I was one of those few people that was interested in it and grew up with parents that were race fans and had gone to a lot of races growing up, so I always watched them with them, and I think it gives me a unique perspective of the sport to be a race fan and have a different appreciation for it because of that, because every time I go to the racetrack, it's so special to me because of that, and my family as well. So that's really cool, and I think, like you said, it is different. It wasn't necessarily a hard thing. I think the hardest part about it is now when I go back home, like I was just there for winter, I was just up there for the holidays, Christmas and New Year's, and when I see some friends, they don't understand really anything about NASCAR, so it's really hard to explain where I'm at in my career and just about the sport in general. A ton of people have asked what made me want to become a race car driver, where did it all start? So it all started, like I was just saying, I was a race fan growing up, and my parents were race fans, so I was just watching all the races and always wanted to try it. I didn't even start racing until about 5 years ago when I was 15, but I did race go-karts when I was little, a little bit, but just the indoor rental karts where you can literally, pay $40 and run 3 races, and they give you all the equipment, the go-kart, everything. You just go rent and drive. So nothing really serious or anything like that until 5 years ago when I got into a legend car and only ran a few races and then got into late models and then worked with Lee Falk Racing Development and Junior Motorsports, Dale Jr.'s team, and obviously went through the K&N Pro Series and Truck Series, and now I'm here at Richard Childress Racing in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Dan Love 44 asks, do you think you'll go back to late model racing like Martinsville or something like that? I would love to. I'm actually working on trying to run a late model race this year because it's so much fun. It's the grassroots level. It's where it all really started for me, and it started for most people, honestly. It's just super cool. It's a different perspective. The racing's really fun, and I'd love to run as much as I can of that, throughout my career. Benjamin Walsh 12 asked, do you feel that iRacing helped you learn some of what you know now on the track today? What are some tips for fellow racers who are currently just at the local level? So I definitely feel like iRacing's helped me at the very least. Sometimes there's not as much field depending on the rig you're playing on, but iRacing has so much value to it because, especially with the proper equipment, and one of my sponsors being SimSeats, who has built me an incredible racing simulator, and they built all kinds of ones. The equipment on there, like the steering wheel and the pedals and the way you sit, the ergonomics of it are so great, and it really helps with feeling like you're in the car and being more comfortable and acclimated. And obviously iRacing's platform helps with a visual at the very least, but you do have a lot of feeling. Being able to race other people and work on race strategy and stuff like that even helps. For drivers at the local level, you definitely got to keep working on marketing, building your brand, working with sponsors, developing relationships, and taking advantage of every opportunity you get in the best way possible. Oxidine Kid asks, how do you feel about NASCAR Heat 4 League using your name as its title sponsor? I love it. So Oxidine Kid has a league on NASCAR Heat 4 that I sponsor. I love supporting his series. It's really cool. We got my Fast Pasta logo as the logo for the series, which is really unique, and I love supporting all the gaming stuff and any place where the gaming industry and the racing industry connect, like racing games like NASCAR 4 or iRacing. Peter Guasti, my old friend from high school, asks, what was the highest speed you've hit? So far, about 195, 197 miles an hour, not quite 200 yet, but I'm looking forward to getting in the Xfinity car this year because I'll finally go over 200 miles per hour at a couple tracks, which would be awesome. All right, we're going to hop over to Twitter now and see what we got on there for questions. John W. Hip 781905 asks, do you watch anime, and if so, any recommendations or animated shows? I don't actually, so unfortunately I don't have any recommendations. So I've never really seen any, and I don't know anything about it really. Andrew C. Wyatt asks, what is your favorite movie? That's a really good question. It's a hard one to answer. I don't watch movies that often, but when I do, I always really like them, and I'd say I have to go with a classic, like maybe The Godfather, some Italian classic. Real Ryan Holman asks, would you ever consider competing in IndyCar? This is a really good question because I actually would love to drive an IndyCar and run an IndyCar race. I think a great place to get my feet wet would be at one of the ovals, like maybe Iowa or something, and that'd be really fun. So I've been trying to figure out how I could maybe go do that, or at least run a race or two at some point, and maybe down the line run the Indy 500 or something. Dakota96 asks, what has been the biggest challenge in your NASCAR career and why? I'd say building a unique brand and developing partnerships with other unique brands is probably one of the toughest parts for me personally, because I'm a first-generation racer, as you've heard my story, and nobody in my family raced, so I didn't start super young. I haven't had a whole lot of time, and I've been very fortunate to come a long way in such a short amount of time, and I think that says a lot about my willingness to learn and my ability to adapt to new environments quickly. But it's just really tough because, like I said, it's a short amount of time, and I didn't really have anything to help get it started, so I've been building it completely on my own and building all those relationships and developing my brand uniquely on all sorts of platforms. But it's been really fun and it's been worthwhile. It's kind of like the YouTube channel here. It's relatively small compared to a lot of my other channels, but I still care about it and I do as much as I can with it because I enjoy it, and I know whether we had 20 people watching or 1,000 people watching, it doesn't matter to me because I enjoy doing it and I enjoy seeing everybody's reactions and comments to it and that they like to see the videos. I'd much rather have 20 people watch every video that are super loyal than 1,000 people that don't watch the whole thing or don't really care about it. All right, we're going to head over to my Facebook page and see what comments we got on there, and then we're going to wrap the video up. Callie Casella asks, are you still in college and what are you going for? If so, how hard is it to balance schoolwork with the race season? That's a really awesome question because I get that a lot. I am studying engineering at UNC Charlotte, and it's very challenging to balance that and my racing career because both are full-time jobs, and both are very important to me. I wouldn't be putting myself through school, and I wouldn't be facing that challenge of balancing the two if I didn't care about it, but it's definitely been tough to balance the two. I think I am very good at time management and being organized, so that helps a lot, but there's times where it's really difficult because you got to prioritize one thing or the other sometimes, and that's where you kind of have a trade-off or a sacrifice to make. Tom Medaglia asks, going to make any fast pasta hats for sale? That's a great question. We have a lot of new merchandise, so go to my website, anthonyalfredo.com, and click on the store tab, and you can check most of that out. We definitely are going to have some new stuff coming out soon. I want to do some new Fast Pasta t-shirts, so let me know your ideas in the comments below. I was thinking maybe the Fast Pasta logo small on the chest, or like a pocket tee with it on the pocket, and then obviously hats to answer your question, yes. Let me know if it should be on the side or centered in the middle. I'm not really sure yet, but I'm really excited to have some new, unique stuff for you all, and I appreciate your support as always. Alright, so that's going to wrap up the video. I appreciate your support. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this Q&A. I'll look forward to doing another one soon. We're trying to do these regularly, maybe every month or every couple months, whatever is best, or depending on how many questions I end up getting. But thank you all for the support as always. I really appreciate it. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, click that like button. Comment your ideas for future videos. Don't forget about the merchandise, any ideas you might have, because we're coming out with new stuff soon. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.